Hey, it's your instructional technology team again, and this week's tip of the week is all about the cloud. What is it? Why you should use it? And what are some best practices? Here we go. So first, let's give some context. Let's talk about the cloud versus our traditional H drive. All right, so we've been saving to the H drive for some time, so I don't need a lot of explanation because you know that you go to your name and you save there, right? But the downside of that is it has to be on a desktop that is owned by the district and connected to our more school servers. And that is what our H drive is. Our network has a couple servers here in the district that we save to, and we always get emails about they're getting full, and maybe sometimes they go down and they're just getting older. And that's why technology has decided to restrict the size that you have this year, and ultimately by the end of this year, start of next year, the H drive is going to be gone. So then if we're not using the H drive, what are we going to use? We're going to use a cloud drive. And many of you have already started to do this. You know that the cloud drive is essentially the same, except these servers are not in more schools. They're somewhere else that Microsoft or Google owns. And the benefit of that is that you can access the files anywhere that you have internet access, not just on a district device. That means that you and students can open and edit and save from your phones, tablets, and all sorts of devices that you have, as long as you're using those free apps. So then what cloud drives do you have access to? Well, as a district, we have access to two primary, Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive, and I would encourage you to choose one. I'm going to show you both of them and some pros and cons, and we'll go from there. So let's do a quick comparison of the cloud. First, Microsoft Office 365 has OneDrive, and you sign in, single sign-on with your district email and password. You have a whole slew of tools and presentation apps and research tools. The benefit of OneDrive is that it's a Microsoft product, so it integrates with all of our Office applications, of course, for teachers, our Outlook for students and everyone else, Word and PowerPoint and Excel and Publisher, and you can save directly to and open directly from OneDrive in the full Microsoft desktop apps. You also get a full terabyte of storage, which is a ton, way more than we've ever had on our H drive. The other benefit is that we actually own all of the files uploaded, and this is a big deal because in comparison, Google has a lot of the same things, same single sign-on district credentials, a lot of the same tools that you can edit in the browsers, and it integrates seamlessly with Google Classroom, and you actually have unlimited space to save. However, in their terms of service, they are ambiguous. They do say that they comply with FERPA compliance, however, that no one owns any of the content. We don't own the content, they don't own the content, so it's ambiguous. So for that reason, I tend to lean toward OneDrive, and I will say that every teacher and administrator is going to be sharing anything with student data using OneDrive. However, instructionally, we will never tell you that you can't use Google Drive or that you have to use OneDrive. So instructionally, you save and use however you see fit. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few things in OneDrive. One best practice and tip and trick is that you can actually save to OneDrive by dragging and dropping. And this actually works the same in Google as well. But notice here, you go to your downloads or anything on your computer, and you simply drag and drop it into the opened browser to OneDrive. Hopefully that makes sense. Now the other tip is that you can actually open from OneDrive in the full desktop app. This is the thing that you cannot do in Google Drive. Notice here, you simply go to Edit Document, edit in Word, the full 2016 program, and voila, it opens in the full program where you have a few more tools that you can use. Another tip is that you can actually save to and open from full desktop programs. So if you've ever saved anything and you've noticed that OneDrive, more public schools, and then maybe your email underneath it, this is basically you saving directly to the cloud while you're in PowerPoint, Word, Excel, Publisher, any Microsoft app that is a full program. Now, I will say that you do not want to use the personal OneDrive option. So if you have signed into that, perhaps with a personal Hotmail or Live, or maybe even your More Schools account, this can get a little confusing, so stay away from that and always stick with the OneDrive More Public Schools. Another huge thing is if you are tired of all those attachments in emails, try sharing a link from your cloud drive, whether it's Google Drive or OneDrive. You simply click on that file, and then you can adjust the editing rights, like More Public Schools organization only, or you can share it with anyone, and then you can give them editing rights or just read-only rights. You can share it with specific people. Lots of different options for this link. Once you get that link, you copy it and paste it into an email. So if you're sending it to Joe Teacher, you don't necessarily have to attach a file anymore. You just paste that link in, and now that teacher, that student, that parent will have access to it as long as they have internet. So what about those proprietary files like Smart Notebook and Active Inspire and editing software that uses very specific file types like Photoshop and video editing? If you use a cloud to store those files, it's kind of tedious because you have to upload to the cloud, then download, and then continue to upload again and continue to repeat that. For these types of files, and really only these types, I actually suggest having some type of external hard drive, whether that's a USB stick or a larger external one like this. You can save all your Smart Notebook and editing files that don't work well within the cloud. But remember that the district is not responsible, nor will they back this up. So if you lose this, then of course you've lost it. So it's always a good idea to still maintain copies in the cloud so that you have a good backup. So that's this week's tip of the week, cloud drive best practices. We absolutely did not cover everything. And if you are like a lot of your peers and you want more support, more help, you want to see us go through this, I'm going to be doing 2 classes on Wednesday, September 6th here at the ASC in the computer lab. There's only 18 spots available, so get on Thrive, sign up. There's one at 3:30 to 4:30 and then one at 4:30 to 5:30, and we'll go over everything that you need. I hope this shorter video helps you. We'll have more tips of the week coming soon, so as always, send me those ideas and we'll keep them coming.